Greetings and welcome to Cars, Grilling, and Technology. This is Will. So here's what we got today. So this is my 2014 Tesla Model S Model P85. We did a video similar to this with the C8 Corvette about a month or so ago, talking about deionized water. If you're not familiar with deionized water, if you live someplace where they have a lot of minerals in the water, then once you wash your car, if the water dries in the car, it leaves water spots. So what deionized water does, it takes all of those minerals or whatever's in the water, it takes them out, and you can get a spot-free rinse without drying the car. Because as you know, that's a good point of possibly putting scratches on your car, regardless of what kind of microfiber you have. So when I did the Corvette, we did the experiment. And as you see, the Corvette is blue with black accents, and it was professionally ceramic coated. This car, on the other hand, as you see, is black, and I did the ceramic coating myself with Adams Polish's graphene ceramic coating. So we're going to see if we get the same results with this car versus the Corvette. So basically, I'm going to hit this with a foam cannon and then show you what the water says now, and then we'll show you, before we do the final rinse, what the water has in it after the deionizing process. I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm sure you guys get where I'm coming from. Stay tuned, I'll be back. In case you didn't see the other video, I'm gonna just go over, this might be repetitive if you saw the Corvette video, but this system is from On The Go Portable Water Deionizer. Adams Polishes advertises one on their website, which is actually made by these same people. It's the exact same thing. I think the Adams one looks cooler only because it's black, but as you see with my garage maintenance, I don't have a bunch of cool stuff in here, so I wasn't really, didn't really care about that. But the reason why I went with this one is the Adams one says there might be like 3 or 4 days before shipping. This company had this in stock when I called, and they were pretty close, and I got it within a couple of days. And I also have a AR Clean Blue pressure washer. Reason why I went with this one is I had one that had wheels on it, and I did not use it that much, only because I didn't like the fact that before I used it, I would have to take it out, wheel it by the car, connect all the hoses, plug it in, spray the car down, wash the car, and then disconnect all of this stuff. I knew if I had one that was mounted on the wall where all I had to do was turn it on, run the hose to where the car is, I knew that I would use that. So that's why I went with this one in particular. But let's go over to where the hose is. And they come with a little meter here that will tell you what your water is looking like. So let's go ahead and fill this up with water. And then turn on the meter. So as you see right now, it says 0. And I must still have some of the good water in here. Let me run water out of this hose to get it clean, if you will, and I'll be right back. So what I did, I ran the hose for about 4 or 5 minutes. I don't know if you can see this, but I've got a pretty long hose. So even after you turn off the deionized water, there's still going to be deionized water in the hose because it's so long. So you want to make sure that you, for a test like this, that you rinse it to get all of the city water back in. Even though it uses up a little bit more of the resins that are inside of the system, I usually just leave the deionized water on all the time, only because when I'm doing the final step, I don't want to have to guess what kind of water is coming out of here. So usually when I wash the car, I have the deionized water on all the time, but they only recommend that you have it on for the final rinse. So here we go. This is already turned on. And as you see, I've got 129 parts per million with the regular water of whatever minerals or whatever are in this city water from Cleveland. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and foam up the car. Then I'll show you what it looks like with the foam on it. You know, it's not really exciting, but I think it's kind of cool. And then we'll go ahead and wipe it down, and then I'll come back right when we're gonna do the final rinse with the deionized water. Stay tuned, I'll be back. So there we are, we're all foamed up. So what I'm gonna do is wipe it down really quick and then come back right when I'm about to do the final rinse. Usually, if I'm not taping or whatever, it only takes about maybe 15-20 minutes to go through this whole process. So it's much quicker than how I used to wash my cars. But let me go ahead and wipe this down and I'll be right back. So after we wipe it down, this is what we've got. Now, even though some of the soapy water is drying, then on the blue car, that was okay, because once I did the final rinse, everything kind of smoothed out. So we're gonna see how it does with a black car. But this is how we look before we do the final rinse. I'm gonna show you real quick with the water. Now we are at 3 parts per million. From what I'm hearing, until you get to maybe 13 to 15 parts per million, that's when you start running the risk of water spots. So we still got a lot of resin left in this tank. But I'm gonna rinse it with the deionized water. I'll be back to see what we got. Okay, so here we are. We've done the final rinse. And as you see, the car is still wet. It's about 85 degrees here, partially sunny. It is 11:25. I've got to run some errands, so I'm just gonna leave the car right here and see what we got when I come home. Like I said, if it was the Corvette, I would be positive we would not have any water spots. But this car, we've never done this before, so I don't know. So we'll see. If there are water spots, then I'll have to figure out a different way of doing this, but I don't want to jump the gun. So let's see what we get. Stay tuned. Okay, so I am back running my errands. So when I left the car, it was sitting in the driveway and it was still wet, and that was at 11:30. It is now 3 o'clock, and as you can see, there are no water spots. I don't know how well this is coming out with the sun and everything, but it's been sitting here since I left, and no water spots. I mean, of course you will probably get better results with it being in the shade, but I don't really see where, you know, it's really that necessary for you to try to find shade to do this. But so that shows that even with both cars, you know, they're two totally different things. You know, you got the black car with the ceramic coating that I did myself versus the blue car that was professionally done, but with deionized water with a black car sitting in the direct sunlight after you wash it without drying it, the deionized water does not leave any spots. So that's going to be just about it for this video. Nope, a couple of things I need to talk about is I know that when I was looking for the setup for my home washing, I wanted to try to use some of the same stuff people were using in videos. So I need to tell you everything that I've got here. Basically, we already talked about the AR Clean pressure washer. And I got this off of Amazon. But I don't know if you have a Menards near you or not. But I think that I saw on Menards website where they also have a pressure washer that mounts on the wall. So you might want to check out their website. It might be made by AR Clean, but for me, I wasn't really caught up on the brand. I just saw this one where you could mount it on the wall, and that's why I went with this one. And then I've just got basically a generic short sprayer. I didn't want to get anything too expensive because I didn't really see where it was necessary. And then this is a basic 50-foot water and air hose. And I got both of those off of Amazon. And then finally, I am using a Griot's Garage Brilliant Finish foam cannon. So I like the results that the foam cannon gives me. The only thing that I will tell you is at the bottom of the nozzle, see if I can find it here. It is made out of metal and it discolors your container. So usually before I do my car, I've got to hit the pressure washer with this to get this clear again. I don't know why the material is doing that. I don't know if it's steel. It can't be stainless steel or else it wouldn't be doing that. But other than that, I really like the results that I get out of this foam cannon. So that is going to do it for this video for real. I'm done. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe. It really supports the channel. Like I said, we're a new channel, but we are growing, and I appreciate everyone who is subscribing. We've got some big things we want to do, so if you can help us out, that would be appreciated. Until the next time, I will see you later. Have a good one.